the rainwater. And then there's a berm, and we'll be planting on the lower side of that. The arrows are the flow lines of pedestrian traffic through the intended garden, so we probably won't put Greywater on this corner. And Rick and his son tunneled underneath with the pressure washer. That's another way to overcome obstacles. Pressure washed underneath, hydraulically mined.
So you have to contain it on your property?
Yes, and that's why we could have probably technically had a smaller swale on the lower side of the fence, but I went back and forth, and I just sat with it for a while, just doing the thing, because and my reasoning was that the slope was sufficient that if we sink water in 20 feet or whatever it is from the street, as it plumes out, and some of that will be Greywater as well, as the mulch basins are in that vicinity. As it plumes out, it will serve everything that's down below, and we'll have more drought tolerant plants at the bottom. So that's one safety feature, I suppose, in not having a swale too close to the...
Hi, I'm Rob Rogers.
I'm Nam. We own house. This is Graham. That's Perry.
That's Perry. And we're the owners of the house. We're here for the Greywater workshop today, where they are connecting our laundry to the garden.
Which is very exciting.
Yes. Yes.
So what do you think about this invasion of the Benicia Community Gardens?
It is an amazing
really nice
opportunity. Someone was asking me this morning, where did you meet all these wonderful people who were willing to help you out? And we were just lucky enough to be down at the farmer's market one day and heard about this project. And Nam was immediately excited, and then I got excited about it. And
then Elena made magic happen.
Your front yard and the Greywater system.
Well, the biggest hope for me is that these two boys are going to grow up, first of all, knowing where their food comes from, and then being able to take apart and coming out here and gathering apples and avocados and being able to wander around and feel a real sense of connection with where they live. So to me, that's the most important thing of all.
I'm the practical one. I'm just excited that we might be able to grow things in a drought.
Yes, there's that too.
Hello, my name is Elena Carolina, and I'm the Executive Director for Benicia Community Gardens. And here today we have the Landerito Landscape Greywater installation workshop. So what's happening here, we just finished our 1-hour workshop. There was a theory of Greywater, and Landerito Landscape doesn't require a permit. So the idea is that any homeowner could install it on his or her own. And now people split into groups, and one group is in the laundry room looking on the plumbing and how do you divert your laundry water into landscape. And the second group is behind me. They are installing, they're beginning to prepare the mulch base for the Greywater. Once water gets out, it needs to go to the mulch base. It can't go directly to the plants. It's going to take us about 4 or 5 hours today to finish the entire system. And this house belongs to the Benicia Sustainable Backyard Program. Again, behind me is the public demonstration permaculture food forest fed by Greywater and rainwater, and we hope to see a lot of Benicians here. What's here is there are 2 swales, and roof rainwater goes on that I got the word spout, right? Spout, gosh. So that spout gets rainwater to the first swale where people are standing now. They're standing right in front of the swale. And then this spout gets there is a pipe underground there, gets the rainwater into this front swale. And then the trees are planted near these rainwater swales, so they could be fed by whatever we harvest of rainwater. And then there, where people are now, well, that's where the laundry water will come in. So hopefully, once established, this food forest wouldn't need municipal water.
Keeping the carbon on site.
I think it also stabilizes, I mean, I'm worried about my place about stabilizing the hill.
Yes.
So I think that may help stabilize things.
David, what are you pointing out down there?
This is the swale. This is an uncontoured ditch. It's a fancy name for an uncontoured ditch. It runs from, you can see, the white pipe over in that corner to the avocado tree. And in this ditch, there's going to be rainwater from this side of the roof spilling into this end, but because it's level, it's on contour, it's going to run the full length. We're also going to be running greywater into it. And what I was digging in here was to find the bottom to kind of demonstrate how deep this is.
Okay.
Because this whole site has had 10 yards of mulch.
Wow.
And a lot of it has gone into these swales, and they're going to absorb, slow, pacify, spread and sink the water. And also, we have twiggy things
Oh yeah.
with,
Oh
we
yeah.
did some trimming
Yeah.
here in the prep phase, and in order to keep the carbon on site, we put them in to break down. So in effect, this is a swale and a hugelkultur bed combined.
My left hand, and I hold the Teflon tape like that. In my right hand, with the Teflon tape coming down kind of backwards of how you hang a toilet paper roll. Then I put my thumb on it like that. Really easily. You can pull it nice and snug too. So we'll go around maybe. Let you guys try that if anyone wants to try the Teflon tape.
Oh, I think I'll get
Yeah, that's fine. Wrench. I usually just, these are really flimsy, so if you do put like a big pair of channel locks on there or something, you get this little cap will come off and stuff. But I usually just kind of do it hand tight. You can use a pair of channel locks, maybe the last.
Just do these little connectors and everything that you're using for come in the kit that the city provides.
I'm not sure what the city provides. I know that if you go to the Urban Farmer Store, which is, there's one in Richmond, one in Mill Valley, and one in San Francisco, I think. I was just trying to like, you'd have to like drill or
Oh, I thought it was already.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's just like this underneath. So, so we're gonna cut a little piece of pipe. We want this piece of pipe to only be as long as what's going to fit into this hub and what's going to fit into this hub, so those kind of butt up against one another.
Is there any advantage to putting it up even higher?
No, it's going to do the
As long
same
as it's
exact
above the
thing. It's going to
valve,
let
you're
air in and not let water out. So it's 10 feet higher, an inch higher. So inside that hub is about an inch, and then the inside of this is about an inch and a half. 2.5 inches. You can use like a hacksaw to cut PVC. You can use these are like higher end PVC cutters. There's some other small ones I can go grab Natalie's and show you guys some like cheaper ones. They have, tons of different kinds. These ones work the best for me. They're like really heavy duty and you can get them at like landscaping stores. And the way I cut pipe, you can mark it. I usually just put my tape measure, put my thumb where I'm gonna cut at 2.5. And then just line my blade up with my thumb like that.
Don't do your thumb.
And move it before I start
I am
cutting
a
it.
nurse. Wait, sorry.
And then you just pinch these a few times and they ratchet and they cut it nice and smooth. And,
Nice.
Yeah.
I've always used a hacksaw. I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that existed.
Yeah. If you do use a hacksaw, it's totally okay to use a hacksaw. You just want to make sure that you remove the burrs from any kind of piping debris that you have, so that. So I'm gonna wait to glue until the next group gets in here, just so I can take all this apart, so they don't say, "Oh, what is that?"
Right,
you know, it's like it looks kind of like this, but not really. So we're actually gonna cut this pipe out of the way. I can cut that right now, actually. Then we're gonna run a piece of pipe over like that, and then we're gonna use that one like that to put us into this side of the valve. that make sense?
Yeah. Because they can also be where
Right.
the
Yeah,
pipes
this
in the way.
stubs out. Yeah, it's kind of in the way of it's cut it somewhere right along.
Let me scoot over here, sorry.
So when you're installing a three-way valve, you want to have it mounted so that it's really strong and firm against the wall. We usually use if you use 1.25" electrical conduit straps, they fit really nicely on the fittings themselves. And then if you just buy 1-inch straps, that fits around the pipe. So that kind of fits really nicely on there. So we definitely want to mount this. I hung this wood up here and went into studs on each thing too, so that we can mount against something strong and firm. You don't want to just go into the drywall with a couple screws. If you move this a few times, you can feel it's pretty heavy too. It's a pretty solid piece of metal. So we're gonna strap that guy as low as possible on the wood still. So right about right there, so that we can still get in with our straps and drills.
As far as the pump and the work.
We need to have this. This needs to be not only the highest thing in the system, but it also needs to be above the flood rim of the washer. So you can't go any lower than this. So you know, in that orientation, it can't go any lower than that.
Could the valve go down more?
It could.
Did that make any?
You also want to have this valve be accessible. So when we came in, this dryer was all the way against this, and then this was filled in. So if this is a lot lower, then you're gonna have to, you know, reach over the washer to turn it. Just better to have it so that it's visible.
Okay, there's no mechanical advantage for the washing machine pump.
No, it's not gonna have to pump that high, so it's gonna be okay. And it's also a good idea to take a picture of the valve in each orientation, so like that and like that. And then make a little signage with those pictures with the actual valve to show which way, because it's not always really obvious. Like if the valve is turned like this, these arrows on here are supposed to show you kind of which way the water is going to go. But you know, if someone's house sitting for you or something, or you sell the house and it has new owners, you want everyone to be able to know that this is a Greywater system and that the washer water is going to go out to the yard, so they don't put anything harmful into the washer. My name is Brian Munson. I volunteer with Greywater Action. Today we're installing a laundry to landscape system. So we're using the water from the washer to irrigate the front yard. The system here, this is the drain pipe coming from the washer going into the bottom of the three-way valve. And then depending on which way this handle is turned, either to that side or to that side, it's either going to send water to the landscape in this orientation, or back to the sewer, which it normally went in that orientation.
How long did it take you to install this?
It took us about, I'd say about an hour and a half.
Just to do this?
Just to do the plumbing. There's a pipe that's going down through the floor right here that's going through the crawl space that was run before the workshop happened. So that's a little bit more time to...
Do you think the average homeowner can do this?
Yes, definitely.
We either have to come over. I guess we could, we could go this way, and then. My name is Natalie Kilmer, and I work with Greywater Action, and we're just putting in a laundry to landscape system. And since we're on an incline, we have serpentined the blue lock piping, and we have created our own mulch shields, and we have mulch basins, and the water's just coming out from the laundry machine, and it's coming out here with this stub out, and then we're gonna have it connect right there with a union that we can flush with a hose, and you can clean everything out if there was a clog. And then we're just coming out here and watering all these fruit trees.
Could you?
What's that?
Give me some detail on why the white pipe and what's happening there. Trench. Oh, I see.
So this is our home created mulch shield. it still has to be cut. But basically it's gonna be like that. And then it free flows down, but we're still gonna cut it shorter. I think just the slope. So we have to have an open end, and we chose to have the open end up here because all the water is gonna want to go down the hill.
Sure.
So yeah, I think it'll be all right.
Well, I'm Bill Zerner. I'm here to learn how to attach a Greywater system to the washing machine, which I think we're all going to end up doing eventually anyway in California.
About the crew?
Oh, many authorities agree this is the finest crew that's ever been assembled in Benicia. If you just take a look, I think it's pretty obvious the quality of the character of these people.
So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this PVC pipe into this side of the union.
You guys, this is a pretty important part, so it's hard to remember.
And then we're going to glue this barb by slip fitting into this part of the union so that we can slip the HDPE onto there. And then the cool thing, we found this fitting, which actually will slide inside the union once you get it apart. And then you can just kind of, it takes a little wiggling, but it slides into there. And then you can thread a hose, just a normal, this is just normal 3/4 female hose threading. So once this is down in here, and it's in here, and this part of the union is on this part, you can take it apart, put this fitting in, and then you can hook a water hose up to this and kind of clean your system out. So it's like kind of a clean out area. And then you just take this back out, connect the union back up, and then you're ready to go again. So it's kind of it gets glued into this fitting, and this gets glued onto the actual pipe. Right. But these threads enable, it's a union, so what a union is just an area which enables you to take the pipe apart.
But the hose thread doesn't stay.
The hose thread comes back out, yeah, this just comes back out. Oh, okay, I see. And usually if we bury this, like you can bury this whole area in a valve box, and I just leave these in the valve boxes with them, and then I know where it's at. Or you can, put it back by your washer or something like that where you know where it's at. Today we're not going to use a valve box, and we're just going to glue this 45 so that we're kind of going down into the dirt, and then we're just going to put our union right there, and then transition to this piping right there. It's up to you if you want to put it in a valve box or just have it kind of just in the dirt. Okay.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I guess it's almost ready.
That's all the gluing. That was just threading, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't consider myself an equal fight yet.
Just gonna go like that. This is gonna get dug down a little bit, and we'll kind of twist it up and slide it on there. Also, if you're using glue lock and you're having a real hard time getting the barb to get on the fit, get the pipe on the barb, you can like get a thing of hot water and just dip your pipe into that and leave it for like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and then the pipe just slides right on. So. Maybe just where it starts turning right there. Let's take this.
So I don't know where does anyone know where the glue lock colors are? Oh, there they are. They're right there.
Oh, they have a different color.
Oh, yeah, there they are. Yeah.
Every different pipe has a different color.
Yep.
Yep. Alright, so if someone wants to cut this, cut it. So, we want it to slide kind of all the way on.
So we're going to need to backfill that? That beautiful hole. Who does that hole? Is that you?
Great.
You guys might want to put something like kind of to protect it so nobody steps on it.
Okay.
Yeah, or you guys. Yeah, it's just our. It's a lot of. Yeah, we ended up kind of going over budget, I guess.
All right.
Go, Brian. Go,
Yeah.
Brian.
Oh.
I'm just turning you on.
Yeah. If someone wants to like step on this right here, just so I can kind of bend it up a little bit more.
I said I'd like to have it.
There's legal incentives, and that's something I'm trying to work on with. No, we can't have it. It's a little low, that one might need to be lifted up anyway.
Maybe not that high. I mean, there's no water.
Right, this is the anxious part where you've done all the digging, you've gotten things laid out, and there's that moment of going around, there's no water coming out, or why is all the water coming out here? Or there's something that isn't quite right. And it always happens, and it always works itself out within 20 minutes or so, and there's often a very simple solution. And what we're talking about here with more water or less water for certain plants speaks to the flexibility of this system, because as a landscape develops, the drip line of the trees changes, the water requirements change, and with this flexible pipe system, it can be adjusted, cut back, shut off, or moved even very easily, really, it's not written in stone, we're not pouring concrete here. So it's a very adaptable...
Nothing's poured in concrete here, right?
Nothing's poured in concrete here, and it's like one of the principles of permaculture, that you observe and adapt to the changing circumstances. And
with all the trees that are here, I don't know, I counted at least half a dozen.
Yes.
How much food do you think will be produced?
Well, it's going to vary in time. It's going to vary because certain trees are not going to produce for a few years. And certainly enough for this family of 4, because there's 4 apples on this tree. We're going to let this one go to the full size, so it's going to go up to 15 feet or so, or sort of a pickable height, and then be pruned back in the winter. We've got a pink lady that is going to be kept lower, and so certainly for the apple crop, it's going to be spread over the season. And
I see pear and avocado
and plum, yeah, and a couple of citrus. There's the pear, and we've had good success with avocado in other parts of Benicia, and even though it's windy, this is a more sheltered spot, I think, given its aspect.